I'm going to break down why the official narrative that Tyler Robinson, a lone shooter killing Charlie Kirk, makes absolutely no sense. And I'm going to explain a much more likely culprit. So stick around to the end to hear about that. But let's get started. The story is that he took a shot with a Mauser 98, 30-06 shot, then disassembles the gun in less than 5 seconds and puts it all into his backpack, which is not even close to being possible. They also very conveniently cropped that part of the video out and started the footage of him running on the roof 5 seconds after the shot was taken. My second point is that Tyler Robinson scored a 34 out of 36 on his ACT, which is in the top 1%, but the Discord DMs show him perfectly admitting to everything. I don't really think that that's what somebody in the top 1% of their class would say right after they killed somebody. The Discord DMs don't even sound real. It sounds like they're AI generated, and I would even venture to say that the person that prompted the AI meant for it to say 2 people in their 20s, but actually wrote 2 people in the 20s, and the AI interpreted it as the 1920s, and that's why we're stuck with this message. I'm still okay, my love, but I am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. No 22-year-old is saying that. And then goes on to say, to be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. That is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There's no way that happened. Officials say that Tyler Robinson left a screwdriver on the roof that has his fingerprints on it, but the narrative goes that he shot Charlie, then disassembled it, then put it in his backpack, and then left the gun in the woods fully assembled. So if he left the screwdriver on the roof, then how did he reassemble the gun in the woods and then left the gun in the woods fully assembled? So if he left the screwdriver on the roof that has his fingerprints on it, then how is the gun fully assembled in the roof? We know that he had to have disassembled the gun because they released a video of him jumping off the roof and we don't see a gun, and his body bends in a way where it couldn't have been down the back of his shirt or down his pants. The only thing that could possibly make sense, even though it doesn't make sense, is that it's in his backpack. Even then though, you can't disassemble a Mauser 98 M Magnum, and it's an almost 4-foot long gun. It's 46.5 inches. This is a huge problem for the FBI, and there's really no way to explain this. I think the devil kind of overplayed his hand here. The pictures released don't even really look like Tyler Robinson, and they look like AI to me. The only video that the FBI has released also looks fake to me. It looks like AI. The people in the video are acting like a 30-06 shot didn't just fire off 300 feet from them. They cropped out the part where the guy on the roof actually takes the shot, which should have definitely been included. And there's a bunch of more reasons why that video is pretty fishy. In my last video, I break down why I think that video is AI. I do want to clarify though, because in my last video, I said that these people can't be real, but I thought that they were on this sidewalk at the time, but there's actually a farther back sidewalk that I think that these people are on. So I'm going to let that point slide, but I still had 9 other points as to why I think this video is AI, and I'm still sticking to that. But I think this video should be analyzed because this is literally the only video that the FBI released of this entire case, which is kind of insane. So check out that video after this one. And my next point is that they want us to think that a 30-06 shot got stopped in Charlie's neck. There is no way that can happen. Basically, 0 gun experts agree that that is even possible. Okay, so now I'm going to explain who I think is much more likely to have been in on this whole thing. Charlie was starting to question his view on Israel a lot the last 2 months of his life, and there's tons of evidence of that all over the internet, and I'll show you some of it. 2 days before he was killed, he said Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. That was confirmed by his PR guy, Andrew Colvet, that we know that Charlie actually said that. Here's a couple more clips showing Charlie questioning his view on Israel.
But I got texts about you, Megan, saying, why is Megan like doing the bidding of Hamas? I was like, what are you talking about? Megan's the best. Like, what? Like, she's amazing. And I said, why are you texting me about Megan? And I at that point, and so this is what they don't understand. You and I, Megan, and Tucker is in the same category, and they've tried to go after Tucker.
Yeah.
Is that and the more you attack our moral character, the more we're going to double down in a direction, because 100%. Screw you, I don't do it that way, okay?
Right.
Like when, tell me I'm wrong, cool. Tell me if I've got my facts wrong. By the way, on the Epstein thing, Naftali Bennett says he wasn't an Epstein agent. We have to be pursuers of truth. They've denied it. Fine, let's keep digging. Okay, fine. But the thing that I think is being lost is, like, on some part of the population, you can scold them into silence, right? But if I have any deviation of a purity test, any deviation whatsoever, such as hosting a focus group, right, Megan? with a bunch of our students that went viral, having Dave Smith or Tucker at my event, it is all of a sudden, oh, Charlie is he's no longer with us and all that. I said, wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly, right? I'm an American, okay? Like, I represent this country, and I don't even understand that paradigm. But Megan, I think you would agree with this. I want to make sure we really zero in on this. Personality types like you, myself, and Tucker, the more that you guys privately and publicly call our character into question, which is not isolated, right? Megan, it would be one thing if it was one text or two text. It is dozens of texts.
Yes.
Then we start to say, hold the boat here. And to be fair, some of my really good Jewish friends are like, that's not all of us, it's all, but these are leaders too, though, right? These are stakeholders, right? And so, look, I'm afraid because, again, I want civilization to win. I want the West to win. I don't want the Islamo-fascist barbarians to storm the gates of Jerusalem. I want the holy sites protected. I believe in the Holy Land. I love that Jesus walked on water there and rose from the dead and preached in the Mount of Beatitudes. Like, I feel the connection to Israel. But at the same time, simultaneously, when the hostile reaction is that now Megan and Charlie are enemies.
Right.
Boy, I'll tell you, like you're not gonna, I won't say lose, but you will weaken and just basically deflate two of your strongest advocates if that continues. How many of you guys think when a lawmaker and a man I respect like Ted Cruz uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse, do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this? Raise your hand. Okay.
I think Ted Cruz used Genesis 12:3. I think a lot of people see that as off-putting when you look at the New Testament.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people, they look especially at the writings of Paul where he talks about how the new flesh is not the same as the people in the Old Covenant. The new flesh is everybody, everyone's included.
Talking about Romans 9.
Yes, 9:6, yeah.
Are you Catholic?
Converting to Catholic from
I can
Judaism.
tell.
This is my next
Oh,
line.
from Judaism?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're you're ethnically Jewish.
Ethnically Jewish, yes.
And you have concerns about AIPAC.
Yes, I do.
I'm told that by some people that if I criticize AIPAC, I'm anti-Semitic.
I think it's ridiculous, yeah. I feel like it's great to have a concern for your country.
Do you think that that AIPAC represents, again, I'm not saying I believe this, but I think this is what you're saying, that it represents a kind of cutting in line of prioritization away from the American people?
Yes.
Would you guys say that's a fair summary? 100%. Meaning that, like, okay, we vote, we're citizens, but a separate group gets higher priority because of whatever reasons.
There were Google searches in Washington, D.C. and Israel for things very specific to this case, like Tyler James Robinson. People used Google Trends to figure out that somebody was searching up Tyler James Robinson the day before the assassination, and that came from Washington, D.C. and Huntsville, Alabama, which has a major FBI campus in it with over 1,300 employees there. There was also Losi Center, which was Googled from Israel in July, and a bunch of other very closely related things like Timpanogos Regional Hospital, which is the hospital where Charlie was brought. Hunter Kozak was searched in Israel. That was the guy that was debating Charlie when he got shot and had the worst reaction I've ever seen. And there's a video of him practicing his reaction. Probably going to be making a video on that guy later. Schaefer Security was searched in Israel, which is Charlie Kirk's security team. George Hodgson Zinn was searched in Washington, D.C. in July. Catherine Nestor was searched in Israel in July, which is Tyler Robinson's lawyer that they're pretty much forcing him to have, and he doesn't really have any say in who's going to actually represent him. Mikey McCoy was searched in Israel on July 14th. So the decision to assassinate somebody is kind of like a big deal. So for something like this to get approved, it has to make sense for a bunch of reasons. And I think that they knew that Charlie was switching his stance on Israel, and he was once pro-Israel, but they're trying to frame it like he died as somebody that's pro-Israel, which is just not the case. So look at this post by Trump on Truth Social. He posted it 2 days after Charlie died. It's AI generated with a Israel flag in the back. This is kind of ridiculous right here. So right here you can see that Trump posted this on Truth Social with Charlie Kirk AI generated with an Israel flag in the background, making it look like he died as somebody that's pro-Israel. And it's like that's what he died for. This is absolutely insane. He 100% did not die pro-Israel and was actively turning on it. And let's not forget that Trump took 230 $230 million from pro-Israel lobbyists. Bibi Netanyahu also literally met with content creators and is paying them to make pro-Israel posts, which shows that he clearly really cares about what the American youth thinks about Israel. And with Charlie changing his views on Israel and being probably the biggest conservative content creator that we were watching, it looks like to me that they thought that was way too big of a threat and they needed to take him out. And according to the Times of Israel, they 20x their budget that goes towards essentially propaganda. So that's probably pretty significant. So if Charlie Kirk was to leave the pro-Israel cause, that would be a big deal to them. That would be something that they care a lot about. And then Harrison Smith, a little less than a month before Charlie Kirk was killed, said, "I'm not going to name names, but I was told by somebody close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them." That's kind of a big deal. We should probably take that into account. And then we have Turning Point USA. They've got their own mess of problems. I don't know if we really have time to go into them right now, but they're caught up in a bunch of lies. But pretty much I think that there's no way that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk on his own, or in my opinion, killed him at all. I think it's much more plausible, in my opinion, that the Israeli government, our government, the FBI, and Turning Point USA are involved. That is just my opinion. I am not stating that as a fact, so I'm pretty sure that I cannot be sued for saying that. But yeah, if you like this video, slap a like on it, share it with a friend that you think would enjoy this or should hear this. Subscribe to the YouTube. We're going for 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. We got to pull all the boys together to get this done. You can support me on Ko-fi if you would like. Drop a comment, let me know what you think. I released a video explaining why I think only video that the FBI released is AI. You should check it out right here. It's a good video. We'll see you over there.